It was a warm Saturday evening and the sun was dipping below the horizon, painting the sky with vibrant oranges and pinks. My husband, Jake, had been in a particularly adventurous mood lately, and I loved that about him. He had a way of making every day feel new and exciting, and tonight was no different. After a long week of work and routine, Jake suggested we have a little get-together at our place with two of his closest friends, Ryan and Dee. As I prepared the house, dimmed the lights, laid out snacks and poured drinks, I felt a rush of excitement run through me. Jake had always mentioned how playful and fun his friends were, and I couldn't help but be curious to see what the night would bring. When Ryan and Derek arrived, the atmosphere immediately changed. The laughter and playful banter filled the room, and the tension in the air was palpable. Jake, ever the charming host, encouraged a few rounds of drinks, and soon we were all a little tipsy, the warmth of the alcohol fueling our adventurous spirits. At some point during the night, Jake pulled me aside and whispered in my ear, "Why don't you pour a round of shots for all of us? Let's have some fun." His voice was deep and inviting, and I felt a surge of excitement at the suggestion. I collected the shot glasses and filled them with tequila, noticing the way Ryan's eyes sparkled with mischief as he watched me. "You know how to get a party started," he teased, a playful grin on his lips. We took the shots together, and as the night wore on, the energy in the room intensified. We laughed, played games, and flirtation danced between us like a seductive melody. I watched as Jake and his friends exchanged glances, their chemistry undeniable. After a few more rounds of drinks, Jake stood up and waved his hands to get our attention. "All right, everyone, I have a fun idea," he said, looking at Ryan and Derek. "Let's play a game of truth or dare, but with a twist. If you refuse to answer a truth or complete a dare, you have to take a shot." The announcement was met with enthusiastic cheers and laughter. We gathered in a circle, the anticipation electrifying the air. The game began innocently enough, with silly truths and dares. But as the rounds progressed, the dares became bolder and the truths more revealing. Soon it was my turn. I felt a mixture of excitement and nerves as I spun the bottle and landed on Ryan. "Truth or dare?" I asked, grinning, ready to see where this was going. "Dare?" he replied confidently, a glint of challenge in his eyes. "I dare you to kiss me," I said, the words falling from my lips before I could think twice. The room fell silent for a moment, every pair of eyes fixed on us. Ryan raised an eyebrow, obviously surprised but clearly intrigued. "All right, I'm in." He leaned in, his lips brushing against mine in a teasing kiss. The moment felt electric, and I could feel the tension in the room escalate. "Wow, that was a bold move," Derek commented, his voice tinged with amusement. As the game continued, I began to feel more adventurous, the alcohol coursing through me, encouraging my inhibitions. I turned to Derek next. "Truth or dare?" "Dare," he replied with a grin, clearly ready for any challenge I might present. "I dare you to take off your shirt," I said, biting my lip as the playful challenge hung in the air. Derek didn't hesitate. He pulled off his shirt, revealing a chiseled torso. A few gasps filled the room, and I couldn't help but admire him for a moment before the energy of the night pushed us forward. Laughter filled the room as the game continued, and soon Jake's eyes were bright with mischief. "All right, sweetheart, your turn again," he said, his tone teasing. "Let's see what you've got for Ryan." "Okay, Ryan," I said, feeling a new surge of confidence. "Truth or dare?" "Dare," he replied with a playful grin, wagging his eyebrows. "I dare you to give me a massage," I said, feeling a thrill run through me at the thought. Ryan didn't hesitate. He stood up and walked over to where I was sitting, laughter ringing in the air. He began to knead my shoulders, his hands firm yet gentle, and I couldn't help but moan in appreciation as he worked the tension out of my muscles. The room was alive with playful banter, but my focus was on the heat building between Ryan and me. "Maybe we should change things up a bit," Jake said, leaning back in his chair with a playful twinkle in his eye. How about we spice things up a bit? It's just a game after all, right? Right, I echoed, feeling my heart race with anticipation. I looked around the room, and the heat of the moment was almost overwhelming. Let's go into the bedroom, Jake suggested, looking directly at me. Let's see how far this can go. As soon as we stepped inside, Jake shut the door behind us. Suddenly, the playful atmosphere gave way to something more powerful, more intimate. The laughter faded, replaced by knowing looks and the palpable tension that filled the room. Jan's eyes locked on me as he came closer, and I felt my breath catch in my throat. He leaned in and captured my lips in a heated kiss. I returned it, lost in the intensity of the moment, the thrill of being wanted. Jake watched with a satisfied grin on his face, clearly enjoying the scene unfolding before him. Derek joined in, pulling me against him and planting teasing kisses along my neck as Ryan kissed me deeply. The sensations electrified me, awakening desires I had kept locked away for far too long. I was swept up in a whirlwind of bliss as both men wrapped me in their warmth. "Looks like you're the center of attention," Jake teased as he moved to join us. He placed a hand on my waist, pulling me closer, and suddenly I was surrounded by masculinity. Sensations swirled around me as the three of them took turns kissing me, their hands exploring my body. They lit a fire in me that I had never experienced before. I surrendered to the moment, giving in to my desires as the night unfolded in a way that was both exhilarating and liberating. As things escalated, I felt the boundaries of our playful game blur. We explored new heights of pleasure together, laughter mingling with soft moans as we lost ourselves in the shared experience. Every touch and kiss brought waves of sensation, and I found myself completely lost in the moment. Time seemed to slip away as we danced together in this unexpected adventure. Jake's encouraging gaze boosted my confidence, and I reveled in the thrill of this forbidden night. It felt surreal, like a wild fantasy come to life. The passion deepened, and I was swept away in a whirlwind of ecstasy. Then, as if lost in unison, we found our rhythm, a beautiful choreography of bodies intertwined with an electric energy that ignited the air. Each of us surrendered to the experience, exploring each other without hesitation or reservation. With each breath, everything felt heightened. The boundaries of reality dissolved, and we were left in a moment that felt lifted out of a dream. I surrendered to the sensations, enveloped in pleasure, desire swirling around every inch of my body. Eventually, as the night wore on, the energy shifted to something more intimate. We settled into a comfortable silence, occasionally exchanging kisses and soft touches, each of us breathless and fulfilled. The experience had brought us closer, weaving a thread of shared secrets and desires that would change everything. As I lay there, sandwiched between Jake and Ryan, I couldn't help but smile at the wild turn of events. I glanced at Jake, who had a proud grin on his face, while Ryan and Derek whispered quietly to each other, the playful energy still in the air. Who would have thought that a simple game would lead to this? I laughed, feeling elated and liberated. Jake chuckled quietly. It just goes to show that sometimes the best nights are the ones we least expect. It was true. The thrill of unexpected surprises had turned an ordinary evening into an unforgettable memory. The air was thick with contentment, and I basked in the excitement of what the future might hold. As the night wore on, we shared stories, laughter, and lingering touches, the bond between us developing into something richer and deeper. I sensed that this night would be forever etched in my mind, a chapter of passion and adventure that would follow me into the future. Finally, as we drifted into a peaceful slumber, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I lay between the warmth of three incredible men, knowing that our lives had intertwined in a way that was both unexpected and wonderfully exciting. None of us would forget that night, a moment of daring exploration that changed everything, igniting passions we never knew existed.